Let me express my thanks to the historic slate of candidates who accompanied me on this journey, and especially the one who traveled the farthest, a champion for working Americans and an inspiration to my daughters and yours, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
It is a promise we make to our children, that each of us can make what we want of our lives. It is this promise that has defined so many great Americans.
I stand here knowing that my story is part of a larger American story, that I owe a debt to all of those who came before me, and that in no other country on earth is my story even possible.
And it has defined him as well.
My mother, she said to herself, you know, my son, he's an American and he needs to understand what that means.
His childhood was like any other, but it was his search for self that defined him.
My father, I only met him once for a month when I was 10. That probably was shaped more by his absence than his presence.
And what he learned was that by discovering his own story, he would come to know what is remarkable about his country.
My grandparents, they grew up right in the center of the heartland. They were growing up during the Great Depression. They weren't complainers. They took life as it came. They knew they had to work hard even when difficult things happened.
His grandfather fought in Patton's army. His grandmother worked on a bomber assembly line. But it was his mother who would see in him a promise and understood what she needed to do.
She'd wake me up at 4:30 in the morning and we'd sit there and go through my lessons, put some shoes. How would that make you feel? That simple idea, I'm not sure I always understood when I was a kid, but it stayed with me.
In Chicago, he would find a calling.
I loaded up all my belongings in this raggedy old car, and I drove out to Chicago. Didn't know a soul at the time.
There were factory closings, lost jobs, failing schools, and in the people he met, he would find answers.
Everyone was raving about this guy.
She came off as very professional, so I wasn't sure she had much of a sense of humor.
I thought, Barack Obama, who names their kid Barack Obama?
That's one thing if your name was Barack Smith or Barry Obama, but Barack Obama, that's a killer.
I thought, well, what'd you do all this for?
You read about some injustice and you say, that's not right, somebody should fix that. You realize nobody else is going to fix it if you don't.
The intent of this bill is to make sure that low-wage workers are able to bring home a living wage,
Tax cuts for workers, welfare to work, and health care for those
employed. You've got no health insurance, your kid is in a lousy school. That's day-to-day stuff.
That's downstate Illinois. You know, when I got down there, people were completely familiar to me. They were all like my grandparents.
And in Washington, he would remember why he was running and who he was fighting for. Energy independence, fighting nuclear proliferation, ethics reform.
I watched him. See, a lot of the senior members of the Senate were saying, hey, go away, leave us alone. He wouldn't.
You know, one person's struggle is all of our struggles. We recognize ourselves and each other. To make sure that not just some people, but all of us